is a story.
Hi everyone, welcome to your February Alchemy Scope. You are indeed transmuting from lead to gold. Your energy is refining, your stories are refining. Let's take a look at, as we look at this beautiful rainy day, let's take a look at the Sabian Symbol imbued at the new moon point happening this month on the 27th of January, Friday, at 4:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This new moon point is the point that the alchemy scopes follow. So let's look, what is the Sabian symbol that's living at the 8-degree 15-minute point in the zodiac wheel. This is a flag is seen turning into an eagle. That's the symbology. Dane Rudyard's keynote is the dynamic incorporation of new social values in individuals who exemplify the spiritual potential and greatest significance of these values. He goes on to explain, to see the new archetype, to perceive the new standard of value with one's mind is not enough. The seer must become the doer. The impersonal is dynamized and brought into focus. We have here the acting out of the vision. Everyone, what this is talking about is the ideal becoming real, the archetype in the mind becoming the actuality in physical 3D reality. That is the symbology imbued. It means that the month ahead is going to be living in the energy of bringing the new form of individual, bringing the new form of society to a new level. Now, we also are moving into a new Chinese year, and this is the year of the Rooster, okay? Now, I'm reading here from my archetypal profile definitions for the rooster. So when you imagine a rooster and you imagine the quality sets of the rooster, you can imagine energy, a vocal nature, a being who is efficient and who is assertive. So if you are a rooster, so if your Chinese zodiac sign is a rooster, you would have the embedded quality sets, the encoded qualities of efficiency. Somebody who is methodical and resilient and resourceful. You would naturally be, at your basis, a resourceful strategist. Roosters are dominant and highly communicative by nature. The archetype is inherently intense, outspoken, honest, outgoing, and industrious. Now, it's important for us to understand that this year of the rooster is going to imbue these qualities. So we're going from the year of the monkey into the year of the rooster. So there is going to be an intensity, there's going to be an outspoken nature, a verbal nature, and an assertive nature, a dominant nature that's coming forward. And I think that's happening at all levels, within the individual and within the societal whole, within humanity. So let's move on now to the individual readings and see what is activated for you this month. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your February Alchemy Scope. So this is your alchemic growth narrative. What is it that is unfolding for you this month over the course of this new moon cycle? The circle and the square that you see here are the two branches of the bifurcated Scorpio path. So if you didn't tune in to last month's January's Alchemy Scopes, please go ahead and do that to learn more what that means. But what I'd like you to do is to please meditate right now on circle and square and select the one that you're attracted to most. And then in the meantime, while you do that, I am going to select your archetypal growth edge for each path. This is two branches of the Scorpio path. So let's go ahead. This is the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. And I'm going to go ahead and select those now. And then we'll reveal. So I've already pulled the spreads. All right. So square addict is the growth edge. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And circle. Martyr. Okay, everybody. So let's go ahead and do the reveal. And we will talk about these when we talk about the readings, okay? Let's put that there, I guess. Beautiful. Okay. All right, everybody. So this is the square, and we'll talk about it. This is the circle. So let's talk about square first, all right? So I have to tell you, for this Scorpio bifurcation, the same narrative's going on for both of you, but there's different catalysts that's activating the growth movement, okay? So let's talk about what that is. So in the center of the reading, first of all, we have Four of Cups reversed. This is talking about going from a state of non-interest into a state of decision-making and action towards something that you feel resonant towards, something that attracts you, something that feels loving and warm. You're moving toward that. You're emotionally making a choice, okay? So that's in the center. And also in the center of the reading for the squares is play. Now, this has to do with relationships. This has to do with friendships. So in the spiritual sector, friendships is coming up, Scorp, okay? And power. So emotionally, you're going to be feeling a lot of power, forceful energy, a surge of energy, a revitalization with regards to perhaps your desire for friendships, okay? And indeed, if we look up at the top of the reading, you have what appears to be in your mind going from a time of breaking, separation, feeling separated from relationships, from friendships, to a state this month of desiring them again. So again, it goes with this Four of Cups reversed because you're making an emotional choice to move, to take action, to move towards something. So it's quite good, this, right? And down at the bottom, glory, victory. So this is about desiring foundationally success when it comes to friendships and relationships. So that's the square path. Now, let's take a look at the circle path because it's very, very similar, okay? Let me just organize this a little bit, okay? So in the middle of the reading, first of all, we can see the Tower card. Now, don't freak out about this card. There's been towers showing up quite a bit lately, and what this is talking about, as a lot of you already know, is there's a catalyst necessary to break apart any illusion to get you on the right path of stability, of alignment to you, right? So here it has to do with connection and happiness circles, okay? So feeling joy, feeling happiness with regards to group, with regards to connections, with regards to friends is at hand. But for the circles, there's a catalyst necessary this month to kind of instigate you to take action. With the squares, there's more of a natural choice that's being made, okay? So that's the difference between these readings, but I have to say the readings are very similar. If we look here, the circles are going to be thinking about the future happiness. So thinking about your bliss state, what is it that you really resonate with, vibrate with? Who is your tribe? Who are your people? What feels good for your future? So you're going to be actually on a spiritual level really kind of focusing in on what you want next, okay? And look at this. Mission of the soul is at the base of the reading circle. So this is talking about you very strongly in the month of February are going to be thinking about what is your goal? What do you want on a very real level? Not just for your work, not just for your spiritual offerings to the world, but also for your life, for the logistics of your life, because this came up in the 3D reality sector. So this is talking about your mission, your work, but also the logistics of your life. Okay. So you're going to be focused on the logistics of your mission, of what you want next for yourself. Now, emotionally, the circles are going to be looking for signs, open to see signs, feeling signs, signals and signs, messages from animals, from nature, from spirit. And you're going to be maybe guided to tap into your courage emotionally, right? Because I think what's going to happen is that this tower, there's going to be a catalyst that occurs in February that is going to obligate you to be brave when it comes to emotional connection. And you're going to know, I think this is talking about a lot of you are knowing that the catalyst that is occurring this month is a sign that you have to step out of your comfort zone and you have to have courage emotionally to make contact, to connect with people, okay? And look at this, on your mind is going to be connecting, and you're going to be listening as well. So mentally, maybe you will be in reflection, you'll be in meditation, you'll make that choice. By the way, that's very important now. It's very important to be more quiet now. The world is very loud now. And so connecting and listening is actually stilling your mind, stilling your life, and listening to the inner wisdom, listening to your soul, listening to your higher self, which is speaking through you. And I think connection, because you're going to be listening, but there's also kind of the theme of connection. You want to be heard. You want to connect with people that resonate with your kind of thinking. So there's a connection to your mind. Like, I think you're going to be thinking about who you want to connect with, but also the quality of people that you want to connect with. I really do. Especially because you have mission here. Okay? Now, and you're thinking about the future, of course, right? All right, now let's talk about these cards that came up. So with regards to the squares, addict is the growth edge, okay? Now, addict is talking about moving out of compromising integrity and honesty and allowing addictive patterns to have authority over you, okay? What is wanting to be evolved and matured this month is the addict is saying, recognize and confront any addictive behavior. So this month for the squares, be brave, confront your behavior, be honest with yourself. I'm always amazed at how many people can just have such an aversion to seeing themselves clearly and being honest with themselves. Just be honest with yourself. Love yourself enough to see yourself clearly. All of your shadows, all of your wounds, all of the narrative, all of the story. Own it, own it, own it. Now, for the circles, martyr. Okay, so this is the growth edge for you in February. So the shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity, and the light attribute, what wants to emerge is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Now, this is important, addiction to self-pity, because again, can we just see there's two addictions here? This is addiction to whatever it is. This could be distractions, technology, Facebook. It could be food, drink, drugs. It could be thoughts, depression, belief systems. It could be anything. This is specifically talking about an addiction to self-pity. Okay? An addiction to being the victim. So I want you to drink that in, circles, right? So it's both about addiction. I just want to point out, everybody, how amazing this is, because the bifurcation is talking about these two threads, a bifurcation that's occurred. But the storylines are essentially the same, but it's kind of two ways through which they're manifesting. Okay? It's amazing. Now, I have also pulled your I Ching and your Dakini. So the I Ching, as I've done in my past Alchemy Scopes, pulls the narrative, the general narrative for you. And the Dakini brings forward, it's from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle, and it brings forward the optimal embodiment. Who are you to become this month? Now, to see those and to learn about ordering your 2017 Evolutionary Story video forecast, please go to thealchemyofholism.com/library. All of that information is there for you. I wish you a rich and expansive month, and I'll see you soon. Bye.